Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. Welcome to another episode of Free International Webinar brought to you by the Institute of Global Professionals, or IGP. We are pleased to have you join us for the 577th episode. Yes, it's 577th episode of our daily webinar and for taking part in tonight's or today's session. And we are coming to you live via StreamYard on Facebook and YouTube platform. Thank you folks for finding time and attending tonight's or today's program. We hope you enjoy the program tonight, and if you do, please let us know. If we are just meeting, my name is Gafoor Impanimbang, an assistant professor from Adyong Memorial Polytechnic State College here in Lanao del Sur, Philippines, and a proud member of the Institute of Global Professionals, which is sponsoring this webinar series. And I'm so privileged to be your host for tonight's episode. The Institute of Global Professionals, or IGP, is an ISO certified compliant training institute and a globally recognized multi awarded international professional organization. We are a nonprofit training institute dedicated to making it possible for anyone to learn anything and anywhere for free online at any subject level. At IGP, we provide free online and offline learning platforms for education and skills training for students and professionals like you, backed by international speakers, coaches, and leading experts from all over the world. True to our mantra, feed your skill, it is our mission to empower people by providing an overall learning experience that meets your needs and helps you to achieve life goals. We believe that free education, more than anything, has the power to break through boundaries and transform lives. Our lone speaker for tonight will have the floor for about 60 to 80 minutes in her presentation. After the speaker's presentation, we will conduct a short question and answer session. So if you have any content related questions you would like to ask for the speaker during this webinar, please type them into the chat window and we will address them during the Q&A. And we would like to get through as many of your questions as possible. Throughout the presentation, you will see a couple of questions pop up on your screen that would allow you guys to get engaged with us while the presentation is going on. And we appreciate you guys answering those questions coming in. Today's or tonight's session is being recorded to be available for viewing post-conference on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. That's Institute of Global Professionals. We are using our FB page and our YouTube account to store webinar recordings and make them available for public viewing. After this session, we will be posting this recorded webinar on our YouTube channel for you to watch a replay in case you want to review anything. And we welcome you to revisit the content yourself and share it with your colleagues. Stay with us till the end for you to claim your e-verified certificate for tonight's webinar, as we will be sharing with you the certificate code together with the link down in the comment section below shortly before this webinar ends for you to download your e-certificate for free. And also join us on our exciting and interactive online quiz game competition happening after the speaker's presentation. And if you wish to join with the online quiz game as player, just simply go to slido.com using your own device and browser. And once you get there, you will see a window asking you to type in the event code. Just simply type in the event code and press enter. Or, better yet, scan the quiz code that will be displayed on the screen for fast access. And pretty much, you're good to go. The event code, by the way, will be shared on the screen just before the competition begins. So please do hang out for that. Lucky top 10 players who would have the most correct answers and fastest response time will receive quiz completion certificate, again courtesy of the Institute of Global Professionals. If you think this program is useful to you, please show us your support by sharing this webinar to your social media communities. Keep on inviting your friends and colleagues you care about so they can benefit from these programs too. Or you can just tag their names. If you like this program, smash the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that already. We also invite you guys to leave us a comment as we'd love to hear from you guys. All right? Every one of us will face criticism at some point in their lives. We might try to avoid it because it can feel uncomfortable, unpleasant, and often quite personal. But Albert Hubbard once wrote, "Do nothing and be nothing, and you'll never be criticized." In fact, not only is criticism a possibility anytime we do or say anything, if delivered and taken in the right way, constructive criticism can be a gift. No one is perfect, and so constructive criticism can be a helpful mechanism by which we can fill the gaps in our knowledge, skills, and experience to help us learn, grow, and improve. And this is exactly our webinar topic for tonight or today. It's all about how to deal with criticism. And we are so lucky to have with us a great speaker from India to share with us her expertise on that subject matter. So without further ado, I will turn the time over to our lone speaker for tonight or today's event. She is a life coach, founder of Mukti Mission, a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, a TEDx speaker and organizer. Rex Karamveer, State President of Jharkhand WICCI, State Chair of Luweni, and she is also a poet. So again, we're so lucky to have with us tonight, Ma'am Rashmi Saha. Welcome to the show. And we're so glad to have you back here
Namaste and
at
a
the
very
Institute
good
of Global
evening.
Professionals,
Namaste and a very, very good evening, all of you,
right?
all the audience in the
So,
entire world. I hope I'm audible and visible properly before I begin the session. Thank you so much,
right?
IGP. Thank you so much for having me here. And
It's our
I
pleasure,
really
actually.
Thank you, thank you. And I really look forward to an interactive session. I would love the audience to participate, interact, keep asking me questions, keep adding their views and their ideas so that we can make most of this session. I would want the audience to understand that this topic, what we're going to discuss today, it's something that doesn't contain a lot of, it doesn't contain a part of education, but it is an emotional education that is required for all of us. And this is where our own experiences, our personal ideas, and our stories will definitely help us understand this topic more and more. So, yes, really looking forward to
Exactly.
it.
All right. So you can now get straight to the content of your presentation, Mama Shaha.
Definitely. Sure, sure. So before I ask this question, before I go ahead with my presentation or the content, there's a question that I would want to ask all of you. You know, each one of you, whoever is watching this video or will be watching this video. I want to start this session with that one particular question. Have you ever been criticized? Ever? Have we ever been criticized in our lives? What would be your answer? I am sure most of us are going to say a yes for it, right? We have some time or the others in, you know, even in the, if the count, if I count the least of the moments, at least once in our lives, we definitely have been criticized by someone or the other. If your answer is no, I must say either you are one of those lucky people who have never been criticized, or maybe you have a very beautiful, very positive perspective towards life and people's reaction that you never considered a statement that is corrective, a statement that might be, discouraging, you ever considered it to be a criticism. So congratulations if you belong to the second, part of the community. If you second part of the category, congratulations, you are in that win-win situation. But most of us belong to the first category. We feel we have been criticized. It could be a positive criticism, it could be constructive, it could be a discouraging one, it could be something which is really damaging. But we definitely have been told by someone or the other that you probably are not good at it. You are not doing this right. How about you do this thing in a, in a different way? This color doesn't suit you well. You have put on a lot of weight, or maybe, how are you managing your life this way? You should, focus more on this, maybe work, studies, family, etc., etc., etc. We have always people around us who have been telling us things, maybe things they understand or maybe things they do not understand. But that constant nagging, that constant unwanted suggestions, that constant criticism has always been around us. We talk about family, we have faced it in family. We talk about our education organizations, be it schools, colleges, our educators, our friends, we have faced it. You talk about our workplace, we have faced it. And forget everything. We have also been criticized by strangers sometimes. Have you ever been criticized by a stranger anytime? Think about it. Have you? I probably might have been encouraged, criticized about, maybe, I remember this time when I was shopping for something, and I was shopping a dress for myself, and probably I'm just looking at this dress, and I'm not one of those very lean and thin women that I believe in, I know, as per the social norms, I'm not one of those lean and thin women. I was actually suggested by someone, and it was not very polite, I must say. Do you actually think you would want this dress? Because I think it might not fit you really well. It might not look very good on you. And I was like, okay, maybe I have to reconsider. I did reconsider it, of course, because I took it positively. But if I would have that perspective, I might have went home with a very bad taste in my mouth, like, okay, this is a moment when I got criticized for the weight that I have put on. Could be, right? Similarly, it's work, it's life, it's it's your lifestyle, it's your thoughts, it's your behavior. We always have people to comment something or the other. And this is exactly why we have this session today where I am going to share a little, tip, some suggestions, some tips here that how can we actually enable ourselves that if at all we go through a situation like this, how are we going to deal with this? How are we going to change ourselves, modify our thoughts, change our perspective so that at least damage is done? I'm going to share those very small tips. I'm going to keep this session very sweet, interactive, and impactful so that you can apply and use these techniques in your life, in day to day life, in your professional and personal lives. So, this is what my session is going to be all about, and that's what I'm going to talk about in next coming few minutes. Okay, so again, I would love to share this slide with you, with a couple of slides with you, so that you can also have this visual effect of what we're talking about, and you can keep, store all this information in your mind. So, just a second. I hope my screen is visible. Is it?
Yes, we are now seeing on the screen your presentation. I think you're good
Okay.
to go.
Okay, great, 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 great. So, how to deal with criticism? As I asked you, as I asked all of you, have you ever been criticized? Take a moment of your life and think about that moment. I want to take you back to that moment because this is where the correction has to happen. This is where we will know what did we do, how did we react, how did we act, what was the other person's perspective, how much did we analyze, and everything that I'm going to cover in my session. I want you to remember that moment when you were criticized. This is a very important part of the upcoming session, because of course, we are going to gather a lot of knowledge, but along with this knowledge, I want all of you to execute it right here, right now, taking that one particular example where you
Saha,
were. Yes.
Rashmi, if I may
Yes.
interrupt, could you possibly minimize your screen for our live audience to see clearly the content of your slide presentation? You maximize your presentation to have it,
Okay. Is it okay now? No, it's not fine.
okay. You still have to find the button where you can maximize so that it would appear the full screen. So once you
Okay.
maximize,
Okay.
your
Okay. Okay.
full
Okay.
screen
Okay.
will
Got
now
it. Okay.
appear.
Yes. Yes. I got
Okay,
it. Okay.
that's it. That's the button.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Great. Is it okay now?
Uh, can you press it again?
Sure. I'll do that. Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Or you look for the reading view option.
Yes. I'll do that.
Okay, and then that's where you're gonna click the maximize button. Okay, because I think our live audience is requesting for you to have your presentation maximized so that they can see clearly the full view of your presentation.
Just let me know.
Okay,
Is it visible
it's
now?
not yet. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
Try
Okay.
to
No
find somewhere
problem.
in the bottom that bulk image.
I am
Okay,
trying to find it.
try to find it in the bottom and that kind of book image. Okay, yeah, it's in the bottom. It's in the bottom. It's somewhere there.
Okay, so what we can do is we can continue with the session. If it is not visible, I can
Yeah,
anyhow
yeah,
I can
yeah.
just continue with the
There
session
it.
because honestly,
Yes.
it's just more of the interaction that I am going to focus on. Okay, because the topic it's not a long PPT. Okay, the content should be here. The content that I should be in the mind. Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
come back the screen
Yeah.
if I am visible right now. Okay. And meanwhile,
Okay.
I'll
That's
keep
it.
checking, what can be done with the technical, arrangements. Okay. Meanwhile, okay. So what I was telling all of you is, I want all of you to get back to that moment where you think you were criticized. It could be anywhere. It could be your family. It could be your friends. It could be your workplace. It could be anywhere. Okay. Now, why I said that we need this moment, we need to go back to this moment of criticism, is because whatever we are going to understand today, whatever we are going to learn today, has to connect with that particular moment, and that is where the correction needs to be. The ideas, of course, I'm going to share all the ideas and all the tips with you, but when you have a perfect sample for it, the knowledge and the application of knowledge becomes easier, and the understanding becomes easier. Okay, so now when I talk about that moment, how do we actually, how could we change that particular moment? Now let's say I was being criticized for something. It could be waking up in the morning, like let's say, doing something about my work, and I'm being criticized by my boss. Okay. Or maybe it can be a moment where I am being criticized from my family for maybe not doing certain things the right way. It could be a part of my lifestyle, it could be a part of my thought process, it could be a part of the way I look. Okay, we can take any particular example. You are free to take that example from your personal experience. Okay, we need to understand, I am going to share certain tips that will help you definitely in your upcoming life. The first and the foremost thing that I usually suggest, please note, the first and the foremost thing that I usually suggest all of you, I suggest myself, what can help me to be uh,
Hello, I think we lost our speaker for tonight.
no, no, no.
All
Sorry,
right,
sorry. I'm here.
she's
I'm here.
back.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. There was some network issue. Yes.
okay.
So, self-awareness. When I talk about self-awareness, I'm sure you must have heard about what self-awareness is. When we know about ourselves and when we get some ideas from people about us, we definitely have a perspective. We definitely have a comparative perspective about, is whatever the other person is saying, is it correct? Or do I need to have different analytical views of the same perspective? Now, let's say if someone tells me, Rashmi, you are not cooking this particular dish well, okay? If I know myself that I don't love cooking, I have never been a good cook. I'm not interested in cooking. I am not aware of the ingredients. I don't have an understanding of other people's taste. And then if I get criticized, if I in my if someone is telling me that, Rashmi, you have not cooked this well, probably I will understand that yes, the other person is saying something which is right. Think about it. But if I'm not self-aware and I'm being criticized for something, I definitely am going to take it in a negative way. I'm definitely going to think the other person doesn't understand me, the other person is insulting me, the other person does not like me, the other person doesn't understand me, or the other person is just trying to discourage me so that I don't do things well. Don't you think so? So, this is where the concept of self awareness, knowing yourself better, helps us a lot. Be it criticism, be it anything in your life, be it, getting better with your confidence level. Self awareness is the key to everything, I believe. The more we know ourselves, the better we perform. The more we know ourselves, the better we get with our understanding of people and our actions and our behavior. The more we know ourselves, more composed we are. The more we know ourselves, we have a better defense mechanism, which is way more secure and polite. How many of you know about yourself? How many of you are aware about yourself? How many of you can actually say, yes, I know everything about myself? Or at least 70 to 80% of things. Do you know what kind of person you are? Are you aware of your beliefs? Do you know what your fears are? Do you know what your strengths are? Do you know what your weaknesses are? How many of us actually know this? Think about it. If someone tells you, I don't like your thought process, I don't like the way you make decisions, obviously you will feel bad about it, right? Yes or no? We will feel bad about it if someone questions our decision making. But if we actually don't know how do we actually make decisions, it definitely is going to hurt us, right? This is where self awareness helps. If I know whether my decision making is intuitive, whether my decision making is logic based, or my decision making is emotion based. I definitely have an understanding of myself, and then maybe I can explain the other person that no, okay, fine, I understand this is your perspective, but maybe I have taken this decision for XYZ reason. So, this can only happen when you know yourself. You can defend yourself only when you know yourself. That was just an example of decision making. It could be anything in our lives. It could be about the way we dress. It could be the way we work. It could be about how we plan our life. We get a lot of criticism about how we plan our life and our lifestyles. Don't you think so? You will always come across people who will keep questioning about, why are you planning your life like this? Why do you have to study this? You should opt for this. You should go for this. You should go to this college. You should go to this, you should opt for this career, and you should know go about this. And a lot of time, this is especially for students, because this session is especially meant for these students. I would want all of the students to understand this. A lot of times we are given a lot of knowledge, which is good. We are given a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. So let's say I want to become a singer. I know I want to become a singer. Now let's stop here. I want to become a singer. We will get criticism, we will get suggestions, we will get recommendations, we will also get a lot of guidance from a lot of people, right? If we know ourselves well, and when I talk about self awareness, what do I need to know about myself? Is my voice good enough? How much practice do I need? How much have I practiced? What are the places where I can actually apply for? If I'm into music, what are the options available? Have I done that homework well? How to be in this career, how to be in this path? If I have all the answers to all these questions, no matter how the other person is suggesting, I will still take it positively because I know who I am. But if I am not self aware, I just am wishing I want to become a singer. I want to become a singer, that's all. And someone just tells me, Rashmi, you want to become a singer. Have you actually have had a formal training for singing? I might feel bad. Who is he or she to question me? I know I can sing. I will sing. I want to become. That's all. This is where we need to understand that when we are deciding something for our career, for professions, we definitely will have a lot of ideas in and around from from our seniors, from our parents, from our guardians, from people in the same industry. And this is where the self awareness will help our attitude, will help us have a positive attitude, positive understanding towards whatever we want. If someone is supporting us, we will know that yes, we are being supported for the right reasons, and where how much do we need to work. Even if someone is trying to discourage us, we will know that okay, we should not take this as a discouragement. We should just take it as a form of as an opportunity that we can get better with this, we can take a good point from here. But this all will happen only when you are self-aware. Now, how to be self-aware, that is the question. I'm talking about being self-aware, but how do we become self-aware? How do we know ourselves well? Observe. Observation really helps. Spending time with yourself. We do spend a lot of time uh, doing our work with our friends, with our uh, the activities that we do. We invest a lot of time on social media, knowing about different people, their lives, celebrities. Don't you think so? People who are doing a different sorts of work, we invest a lot of time knowing them. But how much time do we actually invest in knowing ourselves? Spend some time with yourself. Know yourself. What do you like? And let this start from the beginning of your day. When you're picking your clothes to wear, when you're starting your day, when you're waking up, in fact, before that, when you're waking up, are you getting a difficulty in waking up? Do you find reasons to wake up, or do you have to struggle really hard to find reasons to wake up? Do you have to push yourself really hard to wake up? Now, this is where the self awareness comes. This will tell you, are you self motivated, or you actually have no reasons? You are seeking reasons, seeking motivation in your life. This will give you a lot of answers. If you're self-motivated, this there's an answer for you. Okay, fine, I'm self-motivated. I know as a person I am self-motivated. You know one thing about yourself. The moment you get up, what kind of person you are? Are you a happy person? Are you, a gloomy person? Are you lazy? Do you feel lazy? Do you feel not talking to anyone? Or you are an active, super active person? What kind of person are you? Think about it. How many of us how many of us do remember this? What kind of person we are? Because honestly, these small little things will help you get better with your self-awareness. What kind of do you how much time do you take picking up clothes? How much time do you take, to decide what to eat? Are you a fuzzy eater, or you are okay with anything that you eat? This is also self-awareness. Because the moment you know, and these are these small moments where you can get criticized. Now let's say if you're a fuzzy eater and you don't know, okay, you are a picky eater and you don't know about this, and let's say you are meeting one of your friends, and one of your friends just figures this out and tells, you know what, you are a fuzzy eater. You definitely will not like it because you have been criticized at that moment for your food choices. And this is, if you know yourself, you might not take it as a criticism. Why? Because you will know that yes, I am picky about food because I have these allergies, or I don't like this food, but I'm really sorry, I apologize for this. I can manage with this. A simple situation, a simple solution to a situation that can actually be a big problem. So this comes when you know yourselves, and this is how the habit of self awareness can be developed very easily, by observing yourself, by analyzing yourself, by understanding your perspectives, different perspectives that you have. Okay, so here I would want to conclude here that how self-awareness can help you cut down the feeling, the demotivation, the sadness, the stress that we gather from criticism. One way to deal with criticism even before we are being criticized is to know yourself really well. The moment you start knowing yourself, you become more confident about yourself. And you do not give the power of criticism to other people around you. Okay? That's the first thing. Next, if we go, about what other things can help you. I'll try sharing the screen once again. Okay, so that you can have a look at what I'm sharing. Okay, observe and invest in people. Self awareness is done. Observe and invest in people. When I say observe and invest in people, what do I actually mean? What do we mean by that? I mean, a lot of times we just take a statement as criticism without even understanding why the other person said something to us. Now, let's say if someone is talking about my food habits, Rashmi, you don't have good food habits. You are a fussy eater, or maybe you don't eat healthy. Obviously, it is criticism, and I will not like it. I'll take it as criticism. Although I am self-aware, but I still would find hard. Okay, fine. I don't like eating this food. Okay, I like eating unhealthy food. What is their problem? What is your problem? This will be the question in my mind, right? This will still lead to some sort of stress. This will still lead to some sort of stress. Now, how to cut down on this stress? This is where the next point comes in, by observing and investing in people. We need to know why a person is saying something. Why is a person saying something to us? Does that person has an idea about the food habits, or he or she is just blabbering just because the person has got an opportunity, or the person actually is an expert in food? How would we know? Now, here is the difference. If someone questions my food habits and the person is an expert, I definitely will like it, right? It will be an added help for me because the person is observing me, and the person is telling me things that might help me. But I will not know this unless I invest in that person. So before reacting to whatever one has to say you, before reacting, before taking it as a criticism and being sad about it, being stressed about it, pause for a moment. Pause for a moment and try to observe and analyze the other person. Is the other person stressed himself or herself? Is the other person sad? Is the other person insecure about something and that's why the person is just saying something to feel better about themselves? And actually, we are not at all, we should, we are nowhere in the scene. It is just the negativity of the other person which is being expressed to us in the form of criticism that we think is a criticism. So, here, if we invest and observe the other person, we would be able to know them better. When we know them better, we will know that probably the other person is saying this for a particular reason. Now, that reason could be anything. That reason could be their personal experience. The reason could be uh, their a bad experience about something. Their experience could be, negative about a certain thing, a particular thing. So we have to understand that why were we criticized, why were we said something about, to us, or why did the other person say something to us. When we know the other side of the story, it might give us a confidence about us ourselves as well. It might happen that the entire statement is irrelevant for us, irrelevant to us, and the other person is just expressing their discomfort or their unhappiness, their insecurity by showing us down. So invest in other people. Try to know them. Try to have an understanding of who they are, what their life has been, what kind of background they are coming from, what is their lifestyle, what is their thought process, what is their belief system. And trust me, it is not difficult. It's not very difficult. You just need to hear that person. You just need to listen to that person. And this will be very, very easy to know that person. A lot of times, you instead, you need to empathize with that person, that why this person is actually being rude to you, why this person is criticizing you constantly. And you would realize that this person is criticizing you constantly just because he or she himself is, somewhere uncomfortable about their life. They are not confident about their life. Maybe this could be one reason. So we need to invest in other people. We need to analyze why are they actually behaving in a certain way, why they are telling us whatever they are telling. Okay. Next thing, analyzing the perspective. Now, it might happen that the person we have observed and invested in, the person is good. The person has no insecurities. The person has a good lifestyle. The person is pretty well to do. The person has a certain thought. But maybe the perspective the person has is not that positive. Or maybe the perspective that a person is having is something very different from what you have. Now, let's say I I wake up in the I sleep late in the nights. Now let's say let me give you an example. Now let's say I sleep at around 3 in the night every day. Okay, which is not a great habit. Physically, it's not a great habit. And I wake up late in the morning. Let's say 11 or 12, 10, 11 in the morning. Okay, where I am supposed to wake up early in the morning. Let's say 6 or 7. I, after self realization, I know why am I doing this. It could be habit, it could be my work, that work time that time, it could be just a pattern, like a sleeping pattern, it could be anything, it could be a problem. Self awareness, check. I know what it is. Okay. Now, someone, a friend, or an acquaintance, or someone who knows me a little bit, the person tells me, Rashmi, this is a bad habit. You should not do this. You should sleep early and should rise. You know, I have to first analyze and observe that person. Now, let's say even if I analyze that person and observe that person, I find that person has been practicing the same and he has been and is a wise person. The person also likes me, the person also understands me, but still that person is saying this. So, here the second point is checked, the observe and invest point is checked, but here comes the third statement that I have written, analyze the perspective. Might happen the other person is not able to see my situation from my perspective. The other person, the person who is criticizing me for waking up, waking till late and waking up early, might happen this person is not seeing my perspective. Why am I doing this thing? Maybe this person is not understanding that Rashmi is sleeping late night because she is working in the late nights. Or maybe she has a sleeping pattern, or maybe she has a sleeping disorder. But unless he is not aware of my perspective, how will that person be able to accept? How will that person be able to appreciate or at least acknowledge my side of the story? So if I know that the person has a different perspective than mine, I will not take their criticism very seriously. I would rather take it as a concern and I would tell the person that, sir, ma'am, yes, whatever you're saying, I totally agree with whatever you're saying, but I have a situation. This is the reason why I sleep late at nights and wake up late in the morning. So here the stress that I would have built up just by not understanding the perspective, I somehow discarded the entire somehow I solved this problem of being uncomfortable because of someone else's perspective. Okay, so analyzing a person's perspective is very, very important because that is where the difference actually lies most of the times. So if at all you're being criticized ever, do take care of the perspective with which the other person is seeing you. Sometimes that is required. Sometimes that helps us a lot. Sometimes it will tell us that the other person might be a good human being, other person might be a wise person, but other person may be not seeing the things from your perspective. This is where you have to take the criticism in a positive way, just for your own benefits. And this is where the next part comes in. Be selfish and stay focused. We all have to grow. We all have to evolve, right? And that is our primary focus. The focus has to be on becoming a better version of yourself. The focus has to be in understanding yourself as a better person and working on yourself, right? Don't you think so? We all are working towards getting better. We all are these sessions for example, why do we have these sessions? We have these sessions so that we can learn more. These free sessions will always help you become uh, a better version of yourselves and having more and more understanding of different topics and different ideas, right? So see, we all are working towards just one particular thing, is becoming better, evolving, having more education, more ideas, more learning towards things, right? So even if we feel that someone is criticizing us, there always is a positive corrective aspect to the criticism, criticism that the other person is making. Can we for a moment just stop, pause, and change our own perspective and see whether this criticism is actually a constructive criticism for us? Let's say if someone is telling me, Rashmi, you have a habit of sleeping late hours and waking up late, I might feel bad that because this person is questioning me. But can I pause for a moment and I just change my perspective and I see, what if I actually start sleeping late and start waking up early? Will that make my life better? And can I just try it? What if I try it and it works wonder for me? It can happen, right? So we need to understand that whatever the other person has said, is there a positive side to it? Find that positive side, find that positive aspect, find that positivity in that particular statement, in that particular comment, in that particular criticism, when as we say it, and try to use it for your betterment. Trust me, the negativity in around you, negativity that a person comes with, will suddenly start going down, and you will realize that you have become the super person, this another super soul who is absorbing power from the negativity of people who, when they are giving you any sorts of negative vibes. Trust me, it is possible. It is possible because a lot of times if you're not if you don't talk about the positive and the constructive criticism, lot of times criticism is meant to discourage you, but it is always about something which can be corrected. It is about a limitation. Think about it. No one can tell you, uh, let's say you're wearing a good dress, you're very looking good, or you are very good at your work. No one will criticize you when you're doing something good, will they? Will someone criticize when you're doing good work? No, they cannot, because they also know that they need to have a little courage to point out something which is already right. So they will always point out where there is a possibility of correction, or where there is a possibility of change, possibility of betterment, where they can actually point out your mistakes. So, why can't we take this as a positive and a constructive moment for our betterment? Grab this moment for your betterment. If someone is criticizing you, take that moment, what the other person said, and try to work on it. It will help you get better. This is how we can use that criticism in our favor for our betterment. This is one way of taking this criticism positively first. Second, staying focused. A lot of times, people don't understand us. People will not understand us and they'll still criticize us. As I said, they might not see our perspective. What are we going to do here? Are we going to stress ourselves? Are we going to feel discouraged? No, we don't. Because we are self aware, right? Self awareness check. So we are self aware. We know what we are doing. We have also done an analysis and observed the other person, and we have seen the other person's perspective is not as at par with us. So what are we going to do here? This is where we are going to stay focused in whatever we are doing, because we know the best whatever we are doing and why we are doing it. All these 3 points, which I mentioned before, will definitely help you in staying focused and doing whatever you're doing in a good, productive manner. Okay, so this is the third point. Last but not the least, how to deal with criticism. Once you have sorted everything, you have learned everything. Lot of times, there's still feelings that are left with us. We are left with this feeling, why did this person say something to me? Maybe I have dealt with, I have checked 1, 2, 3, 4 points already. Okay, but maybe I'm a sensitive person, or maybe I'm just a human being, and I am thinking, why did the other person tell me this way? Why did this person criticize me? And I keep pondering and I keep thinking and rethinking about this. And I keep spoiling my peace of my mind. What is to be done now? The leftovers, how to deal with this leftovers of criticism, is by forgiving the people, thanking them and forgiving them. Thanking for what? Thanking for them pointing out those points, those mistakes which we were maybe not able to see, which we haven't seen, and we were just finding it okay. But these people criticized us and they drew our attention to something which, if corrected, might make us better in our work, in our life, in our thought process, and everything. So we need to thank them. Thanking will actually, empower you as a person, and forgiving. That okay, even whatever you said was irrelevant, even if it was not helpful for me, still thank you so much for sharing your views. This will again give you the power and not make you feel like a victim of criticism. You will feel empowered and you will be able to see and meet and be around with this person. Lot of times in our professional lives, we'll have to stay with this person, work with this person, see this person every day. In our family also, we cannot stop talking to everyone. We cannot, cut our connections with everyone. We cannot end our professional relationships with everyone. We cannot do that. We have to be around these people who have once criticized us. Can we hate them all the time? We cannot. We should not. What is the best way? The best way out here is just thank them and forgive them. Thank them, I repeat, for pointing out a mistake or a corrective measure or anything that might help you become a better version of yourself, help you solve that issue, and Forgive them in case the tone was not right, in case they were not good to you, in case they were not nice to you. Okay? And this is the way you can go about this. You can go ahead in your life with peace in your mind, with positivity in your heart, and strength and courage. And you can deal with such situations in your life. So, for today, I believe this was something that I needed to discuss with all of you and also remind myself of this how to deal with criticism, even if ever I come across, if ever you come across. These 5 points will definitely help you to deal with this and go on with your life the way it should be in a very positive way. So for today, I believe this is all that I have to say. I would love someone from the team to take over. And thank you so much for listening. I would love to have more questions from your end. If at all you have any questions, doubts, whatever, I'd love to listen to all of it and love to answer all of them. Please feel free to, express your views. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ma'am Rashmi Saha, for sharing us your invaluable thoughts on how we can deal with the criticism, all right, in a positive way. It was very interesting and very informative. I particularly like your sharing us tips on how we can deal with those criticisms, right? This will pave way for those people out there who have been experiencing criticism in all its ugliest form on how they can actually cope up with, yes, the criticism. So thank you, Ma'am Saha, on behalf of the Institute of Global Professionals. We cannot thank you enough for spending your time with us and share us your knowledge and wisdom concerning uh, tips and ways on how we can actually deal with criticism. It's a very interesting topic. And we hope you will consent to speak to us again in our next series. The same thing you did today. Okay, this is your second time around being our
Yes.
one of our speakers here in IG. All right, all right. Again, thank you so much,
Thank you.
on Saha. All right. So before we go any further, okay, I've got something to. Okay, let's give a huge shout out first to Jocelyn Dulnuan Naungan for being spotted for her continued support to IGP. All right, through her regular attendance in most of our webinar series conducted. And for that reason, IGP is so pleased to award you its lifetime membership certificate, again, for being a loyal follower of IGP. Congratulations, Ma'am Jocelyn Dolnuan Naungan. All right. So, an exciting and fun-filled online quiz game competition is coming up next. So brace yourself, guys. All right, so we now come to the online quiz game competition, and this is going to be open for all of our live audience tonight who wish to join. All right. All right. So as of now, we still have a few participants joining in. So I guess we're going to give them a minute or two to get settled, and then we'll get underway. All right. So as of now, we have, I think, 23. Uh, 23 participants were able to join us. Okay. For our online, oh, it's 27 rather. All right. Let's all welcome our participants for tonight. We have Hazel Singalivo, Rike Arculima, Kiangwi Asaya Getwikiri, Jemeline Rivera, Alan H. Brutas. I think this is Ambassador Sergeant Joseph N. Placiers Res. All right. I hope I pronounce it well. And we have Gloria Cariaga. All right. Carmila B. Hine. I think this is Hine. Cristina V. Del Rosario Corazon Tamio. Gloria Cariaga. Dennis Ginto Cerso. All right. So I think we're about to start with our first question. All right. So I think there's something wrong with Slido. All right, so here we go with the first question. How can you deal with mistakes? So we have two options here. Is it learn to accept your mistakes, or don't remember that no one is perfect? So the correct answer is learn to accept your mistakes. All right. And 100% of our participants for tonight, all right, said it's learn to accept your mistakes. That's the correct options. And so congratulations. So as of this time, we have Dennis Ginto Cerso, all right, being on the top of our list, followed by Ogien Dorje Tashdinka HSS. All right. We have Ashu Kumar Adhikari, Rosie T. Yusores, and Cristina V. Del Rosario. And that's for the first question. All right. So let's now proceed to our second question. And it says, how can you respond to criticism? Is it not identifying a solution, or understand the criticism? All right. So we have 2, 1, and time is up. So Slido is now tabulating the result of your answer, and the correct answer is understand the criticism. Understand the criticism, and all right, 100% of our live audience or our participants got the correct answer. All right, so congratulations. And let's go back to our leaderboard, and it's still we have Dennis Ginto Cerso being our top scorer for our second question. And followed by Ricky Arculema, we have Napoleon Torcelino, Nancy Barotel, and Cristina V. Del Rosario. All right, congratulations. All right, so we're about to proceed with our third question. All right, so here we go. It says, how should you handle criticism? We have two options here. Is it ignore the problem, or listen carefully and ask questions? So which do you think, guys, is the appropriate answer? All right, Slido, please show us. The correct answer is listen carefully and ask questions. All right, that's 93%, or majority of our participants were able to get the correct answer. All right, congratulations. And going back to our leaderboard, Dennis Ginto Cerso still on the number one spot. All right, followed by Napoleon B. Torcelino, Ricky Arcolema, Cristina V. Del Rosario, and Nancy Barotel on the fifth spot. Don't get discouraged, guys, because we still have 7 questions remaining left. All right, anything can happen here. All right, just keep on sending your correct answer and make sure that you can submit your answer as fast as you can. All right, so let's now proceed with the fourth question for tonight. Which of the following was a criticism of the New Deal? Is it increase in federal power or increase in state spending? So we have 3, 2, and 1. Time is up. All right, and Slido is now processing the result of your answer. And the correct answer is increase in federal power. 79%, or majority of our participants for tonight, got the correct answer. And so, congratulations. So let's get back to our leaderboard. Dennis Gento Cerso was able to really maintain his being on the number one of our list. All right. Okay. And we've got Cristina V. Del Rosario on the second spot, followed by Ricky Arcolima, Jerome B. Arivalo, and Napoleon B. Torcelino. All right. If you could notice, guys, you have a tie score. All right. But you may differ with the number of seconds that you managed to submit your answer. Okay, so lucky are those among you there who has a strong connection in the internet. All right, so it sounds like it's a big deal. Internet connection here is a big deal. All right, so we're done with the fourth question, and we're now heading to the fifth question for tonight. And here we go. A criticism of FDR's New Deal was, is it reduced the power of the government or made people dependent on the federal government? So which do you think, guys, is the closest or closer? All right, here we go. Time is up. And Slido, please show us the correct answer. It's made people dependent on the federal government. Okay, it's more than half of our participants were able to get the correct answer. All right, so again, congratulations. And let's go back to our leaderboard. As I was saying earlier, anything can happen. It's Napoleon B. Torcelino's tie this time, all right? And followed by Nancy Barotel, Michelle G. Gasser, and Jeneline Borja Mandawi, and Gemaline V. Rivera on the fifth spot. All right. So this is very exciting. Okay. We can hardly determine who's going to make it on the number one spot because anything can happen here. All right. So let's now proceed with our sixth question. And let's see what will happen. Okay, which of this was the biggest criticism to the New Deal? Is it gave the government too much power or it created excessive agencies. And 3, 2, 1, time is up. And Slido will now show us the correct answer. It gave the government too much power. All right. 90% of our participants got the correct answer. And so let's get back to our leaderboard and find out. See, it's Nancy Barutel this time who is on the top of our list. All right. Followed by Napoleon B. Torcilino, Jeneline Borja Mandawi, Germaline V. Rivera, and we have Maria Menchi M. Chan on the fifth spot. All right. All right. So I think we're now going to proceed to our seventh question for tonight. What criticism did many progressives make of the New Deal? Is it did not do enough to redistribute wealth or promoted a regimented militaristic society? There you go. And the correct answer is did not do enough to redistribute wealth. All right. Only 38% of our participants were able to get the correct answer. All right. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. See, we have Thea Angelica Rivera, who is our top scorer this time. And she's being followed by Dennis Gento Cerso. We have Nancy Barotel, Sherilyn Caliejo Yamaguchi, and Leia Facunla on the fifth spot. All right. Okay. And so that's it. And here we go for the number 8 question. Criticism is it withdrawing from a conversation or an interaction or the expression of complaints about another party? All right, so we have 3, 2, and 1. Slido, please reveal the correct answer. It's the expression of complaints about another party. 69% of our participants for tonight's online quiz game competition was able to get the correct answer. Okay, still Thea Angelica Rivera on the number 1 spot, followed by Dennis Ginto Cerso, Nancy Barotel, Sherilyn Caliejo Yamaguchi, and on the 5th spot we have Leia Facunla. All right. And now for the ninth question. How do minor political parties deal with controversial issues? Is it give a strict stance or avoid a question completely? And here we go. And the correct answer is give a strict stance. 50% of our live audience or participants got a correct answer. And again, congratulations. And going back to our leaderboard, wow. Thea Angelica Rivera was able to maintain her spot, okay, being on the number 1 spot. And followed by Sherilyn Caliejo Yamaguchi, Dennis Ginto Cerso, Germaline V. Rivera, and Alan H. Brutas. All right, so we've got 1 or I don't know if it's 10 or 15 questions for tonight. Next, why should you not accept criticism? Why? Because this will help you learn and grow, or only haters criticize? And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, time is up. And Slido, please. The correct answer is only haters criticize. 44% of our participants, all right, got the correct answer. And all right, so I think that we have 10 questions for this evening. And so congratulations, Thea Angelica Rivera, for winning the online quiz game competition for tonight. All right. And also shout out to Dennis Gento Cerso for being the second placer for tonight's online quiz game competition. And also shout out to Gemaline V. Rivera for being our top three. All right, winner for tonight. All right, here we go. Um, yes, and on the fourth spot we have Maria Menchi M Chan. All right, on the fifth spot we have Kiefer Rivera, Sherilyn Calejo Yamaguchi on the sixth spot. We have Nancy Barotel on the seventh spot, and on the eighth spot we have Ricky Arcolema. Okay, I can hardly see the ninth spot because it's been covered with our what do you call this? Third line. I mean lower third. All right. Who's our number nine winner? The number nine and number 10. Okay. I wonder if you could move up a little bit so that I can read who's on the number nine spot and 10 spot. Here we go. So on the ninth spot, we have Ashok Kumar Adkari. All right. I hope I got it right. And our top 10 winner is Carmela B. Hine or Jine. All right. So congratulations, guys. We really appreciate your active participation and for showing us your support every time we are conducting a webinar series. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, with our online quiz game competition for tonight. And question and answer portion is coming up next. So please do prepare your question by typing in them in the chat box window. All right. So that I think I'm getting lost here. All right, here we go.
Hello everyone. I think because of technical problem, our host is disconnect for a while. So congratulations to our top 10 winners. We will wait for our speaker and our host too. So before starting our next session, that is QA, please don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in our comment box. Okay, and you will get your quiz winner certificate from our Facebook official page. So don't forget to collect your certificates from our page. And dear knowledge seeker, please get ready with your question to ask our honorable speaker. I think she'll be connect within a minute, so we'll going to wait for her. Okay, so we are going to start our next session, that is QA session, and we will wait for our speaker, and if she join, we will start it. So welcome to our QA session, and still our speaker couldn't join. So let's see if she joined, then we will start it. Because of this, because of the technical problem, we are having this uh, problem. Okay, we will wait for a few minutes. If our speaker join, then we will start the program. So I'd like to thank to our participants and our active uh, volunteer who's cooperating with our participants audience. So thank you all of you for cooperating with IGP, staying with us. Thank you so much. So we are still waiting for our speaker. Okay. Okay, my dear lovely audience, we cannot connect with her. So this session is end here, and we are moving to our certification process. Today's program name is How to Deal with Criticism, and the code is IGP 1577. Let me tell you again, the code is IGP 1577, and without code, no one is eligible for certificates, and with code you can claim your time. And you can also go to our website. Our website address is www.eduigp.com. Collect your certificates and don't forget to celebrate with IGP. And please collect your quiz certificates from our Facebook. And we have already posted our previous webinars code in our Facebook. Please collect those code from our Facebook official page. Oh my goodness. Okay. We have our speaker.
Hi.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining.
Hi, Nasheen. I'm so sorry. There was some confusion.
Okay,
I
I
please,
think
yes.
it's okay, ma'am. So I we already it's okay. We can continue this session.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
We have already okay.
Okay. So I see a question.
This, it is easy and say that we must yes, constructively take criticism, but how are we going to encourage the people around us, especially the youth, the people who feel inferior, and those individuals who have weak personalities to take criticism constructively? And what are the best strategies, techniques, or tips that we can use to influence these people to take criticism as constructive as possible?
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. Thank you so much, John. That was a very, very beautiful question. And I definitely would want to, address this. So, first of all, when we talk about, youth, and we talk about the constructive criticism, second. Third, we are talking about people who feel themselves to be weak, okay? I'll start with people who feel themselves to be weak. I need to understand who decides who's weak and who's strong. First of all, we need to know, what are the parameters that we're talking about. And even if you're talking about someone is weaker than the other person, we should always try to, as I said, we should work on the self awareness part. We might be weak at something, but we definitely we must be strong at something else. Do we need to be strong at everything that the world is strong at? We need to first understand. Let's say if my strength is something, but my peers and my friends, they are better with something else, another set of friends are better with something else. I should rather try to strengthen the qualities and the skills that I personally am good at first of all. Second of all, if there is something that I need to be better in, and I need an improvement, instead of getting criticized, feeling discouraged about it, feeling bad about it, I need to understand that this is the time that I need to work upon it. Maybe individually I was not able to look at it, but if there is someone who has criticized it, now is the time that I can start working towards it. Also, I need to observe that is there just one person who is pointing this out, or there are more people. Sometimes we also need to understand that it could happen that just one person is having a perspective. It could be a negative perspective, it can also be a very positive perspective. But we also need to verify the other person's perspective towards us. If the criticism is a common shared criticism by a lot of people, then probably there is something which needs to be changed in us. This is the time when we take that call. So that was to answer the first set of the question. Second, yes, it is very difficult to take everything positively, every criticism as a positive criticism. But are we helping ourselves if we are taking it negatively? Is it doing us any good? I don't think so. It is discouraging us, it is demotivating us, and it is again, in return, it is stopping us to become a better version of ourselves. So I believe, although no matter how difficult it is, no matter we are not finding anything positive in it, we should start working to have a perspective. We should start working and working towards finding that little ray of hope, positivity in whatever someone says. Trust me, I have been practicing it. I have been sharing this with a lot of people. And the moment you learn this, your personal life definitely gets better. And the third thing, how we can encourage youth is, I would want all the youth and people who are working with young people, please try to understand there's no point being judgmental. A lot of us are judgmental about people, their behavior, their lifestyle, their skills and everything. We should stop judging and start accepting people the way they are. We should start learning how to respect and acknowledge the skills and the qualities that people already have. If one by one this quality starts spreading, if this idea starts spreading, I am super sure that the discouragement, criticism will definitely come down. Encouragement and motivation will increase in the society. So we as people in this society, active people and positive people, we can definitely work on this and advocate this. So I hope my answer, fits perfectly, or is something that suffices your question, John. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And dear knowledge seeker, please put your question in our comment box and we are waiting for you. Okay, our next question is from Ma'am Hera. Jamie, why do you think people often mistake question for criticism or doubt when you are just trying to gain a deeper understanding or draw out more detail about the specific topic?
Yeah, yeah. Hero, that's an amazing question. Trust me, that happens a lot of time with a lot of people. There are certain reasons for this. I think both these stakeholders are responsible for this miscommunication. First of all, let's say I put myself and Nasreen into the picture, and let's say I am the one who's criticizing or saying something, just trying to have a deeper understanding of whatever she has to, about her work. Let's say work, an example, right? Where can I go wrong? Maybe the words, the choice of words that I choose. My intentions could be correct. My intentions could be really pure. I'm just wanting to have a deeper understanding, or draw some details, as you said here. Okay. But let's say I'm not using the right choice of, I don't have the right choice of words. My words are not positive enough. My words are actually hitting her in an emotional space where she might not feel well. My tone might not be correct. A lot of times, we are not using the right kind of tone to express ourselves to people, and this is a moment when a lot of times appreciation also starts looking like a criticism. Think about it. Third thing where I can go wrong as the other person is maybe the moment that I choose. Now let's say if she has done something wrong, let's say she's done something wrong, am I supposed to correct her or know her exact at the same moment? Maybe not. Maybe not, if I am not really directly associated with it. This is the time when I need to stop and pause for a moment. I should wait for a moment where she has calmed down, where she has realized her mistake, and I have very softly, very nicely, using the right words, I have told her or discussed with her that, Nasreen, this is what it is, and you should work on this. This is the moment when the entire conversation will not look like a criticism. This is the first thing. Now the second part. Now let's talk about her part. How can she stop from taking my words, my suggestions as criticism or self-doubt by, again, whatever I have discussed in the session, that exactly how it should be. We should try to understand ourselves, whatever have we done. Have we actually done something wrong? Do we actually need to be criticized? And even if we are criticized, let's say my tone, my voice, my choice of words were not right. Okay, but staying in that mode of being criticized and being a victim of criticism, will it help her? No, it will not. It will add to her anxiety, it will add to her stress, and it will somehow deteriorate the situation, right? So this is where she needs to take care of it, and she needs to try to understand, why did Rashmi ma'am say this to me? Is there anything valid? Is there anything sensible in it? Do I really need to work on it? Or maybe she can go to someone whom she really trusts, who knows her, and then she can verify whatever I have said. By doing all this, maybe the doubts that we have, maybe the negativity that we have, we can solve it from both the ends. Okay. So if you are on the other side, if you are trying to point out something, please use the right words, right situation, and the right tone to express yourself. And if you are in the other side, please try to have an understanding. That's what I have.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable presentation with our participants. And really, we have learned so many things from you tonight. Thank you so much, ma'am. And really, we are honored to have you here, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I
So
can
we are
stay here. Should I stay here? Like, do we have more in the session?
no, ma'am. we are going to end our session, but
Okay.
I thought you can't connect with us, then suddenly you connected. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, dear audience, again, I'm sharing the certification process with all of you that the program name is How to Deal with Criticism and the code is IGP 1577. So, please remember this code and please collect your certificates from the website, and the website address is www.eduigp.com. And thank you all for joining and staying still now with us. And thank you for your active participation in our quiz and QS session. So I'm inviting all of you for the tomorrow's session, and don't miss it, and don't forget to share with your friends, because we came here for learn and gain knowledge. So thank you again to all of our participants. And right now I'm signing off. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy wherever you are. Have a good day and good sleep. Goodbye.